This video will talk about the importance of corporate governance in two companies, which are Woodside and Marathon. These companies have similar industry, which their focus is on oil and gas production. Firstly, Woodside, a listed company in Australia Exchange, has market capital of $20,990,000,000, while for Marathon, a listed company in New York Stock Exchange, has a market capital of $22,380,000,000. Corporate governance is important because it is the way an organization policies itself. Corporate governance is promote to expand the responsibility of your organization and to stay away from huge harm before they happen. It can keep the interests of the stakeholders in mind, identifying the role of board of directors to treat the shareholders equally and to make sure that the company disclose the material transparently. In short, through corporate governance, the fraud, scandals, and criminal liabilities of the company can be prevented or avoided altogether. First, how do you set up corporate governance in your company?
Okay, so first I would like to tell you that Woodside has adopted third edition of AXX Corporate Governance Council and recommendations. In terms of management, Woodside has been ensured that its business and affairs are managed according to the board of directors. So here, the role of the board of directors is to attain the corporate strategic objective, to appoint a CEO, as well as to manage the company's management activities. So here is the list of the 8 non-executive directors and a CEO in Woodside board, as you can see here.
Yes, I see that.
Okay, so the board also consists of 4 standing committees to assist in the discharge of its responsibilities, which are Audit and Risk Committee, Nomination Committee, Human Resource and Compensation Committee, as well as Sustainability Committee.
Oh, okay, I got it. What about the policy that your company set up in order for your employees to behave accordingly? How do you manage that?
Okay, so Woodside has applied the Code of Conduct, Anti-Bribery and Corruption policy, and also a whistleblower policy to act ethically and responsibly. As the evidence, there were 71 cases reported in 2014,
Yes.
whereby the most serious case is about the termination of 7 employees due to the fraud activities.
Oh, okay. Can you tell me how you disclose your report?
Okay, so Woodside is committed to ensure that shareholders and market are provided with full and timely information.
Oh.
Also, all stakeholders have equal opportunities to receive external information issued by Woodside.
How the corporate governance is managed in your company?
In our company, actually discuss role and responsibility in the third page of annual report. Besides that, our company is managed under the direction of board of directors for building the long-term value for our stockholders. The most responsible for our board is to attend the board meetings, elect CEOs, and establish effective communication with the stockholders. Our committee will be evaluated every year to ensure it can be function effectively. In addition, members of direction with due allowance will be around 6 to 10 members, and the members with certificate of incorporation will be around 3 to 12 members. Our directors shall be elected or re-elected, and any vacancy on the board will be filled. Further, our company will determine the independence of directors in the way of determines whether our directors have material relationship with our company. However, our company does not have the policy about separations, chairmen, and CEO in the company. Yeah.
Okay, well, about the remuneration of the director. How is the director paid based on the shares they acquired?
Our company will pay the directors a cash retainers and equity-based fee as a compensation for the service. Yeah.
Oh, okay. What are the standing committee of the board of directors?
The standing committee in our company will be include audit committee, compensation committee, nominating committees, and corporation governance committee. And each of them have to review the charter to make sure that internal control over the financial report is adequate. Most of the important part is that all our standing committee have to compose with entirely of independent directors.
Okay, so
The question arises of whether the companies listed on different stock exchanges disclose the same corporate governance information. In this case, we use the AXX recommendation as a comparison between Woodside and Marathon. After analyzing the corporate governance, we found that Woodside has complied with all of the principles given by the AXX, while Marathon only complied with 5 out of 8 principles. From this compliance, we could derive a conclusion that these companies did not disclose the same corporate governance information. However, both companies disclose some similar points such as the conflict of interest, the board size, and the role and responsibilities of the directors.
what do you think would be be the best to describe a good corporate governance for a company?
So for us, there are three main corporate governance items that need to be included in our scoring system. First one will be about the structure of the board. It talks about the independence of directors and also the separation of chairman and CEO. Second one will be on foundation of management. It talks about the responsibility and roles of the directors. And last one will be emphasized on integrity and ethical dealings. It talks about the conflict of interest. So first, it is essential for a company to set the structure of the board according to the nature of the business. And also, they need to make sure that the directors are equipped with relevant skills and knowledge about the company in order to increase the quality of their corporate governance. And second one, it is important to have a good foundation of management by setting the roles and responsibilities of the directors to follow the common goals of the company. Last one will be emphasized on integrity and ethical dealings. It is important to have a harmonization in the business environment to reduce the conflict of interest and also to enhance the performance of their employee.
So based on the analysis that you did in Marathon and Woodside, which is the best corporate governance?
So you might want to look at this. So as my colleague Wisaka already told you about the three fundamental elements of a corporate governance model, hence we can conduct a scoring system that can be applied in Woodside and Marathon. So in our scoring system, we have three criteria: excellent, good, and poor. Poor means the company do not disclose sufficient information regarding their corporate governance item. Good means they provide an adequate information regarding their corporate governance item, while excellent, they do not just provide an adequate information, but also provide a good quality regarding their corporate governance item. So the first element that we can be considered is pertaining to the director independence. So the board can assess the independence of the director by assessing whether the director is a non-executive, not a member of management, and free for any business or other relationship that could materially interfere their independent exercise of their judgment. So the basic reason why we can give an excellent score to the Woodside Limited. On the other hand, in Marathon Company, the board can assess the independence of the director by assessing whether the director has the material relationship to the company. But we can only give a good score to them because they do not disclose the name of the directors that should be independent. The second element that we can be considered is pertaining to the separation between the chairman and the CEO. We can give an excellent score to Woodside Limited, taking into account that Mr. Cheney, as the chairman of the company, and P. Coleman, as the CEO of the company, are clearly separated. It means there is a distinct separation between these two positions. On the other hand, only poor scores are given to the Marathon Company because they do not have the policy regarding the separation between the chairman and the CEO. Now imagine that you are filled with the same position, chairman and the CEO. It is rationally believed that it can lead to many problems such as abusement of the position and conflict of interest. So the third element that we can be considered is pertaining to the conflict of interest. So both Woodside and Marathon Company are given an excellent score because they have a conflict of interest guidelines that can be applied if there is or maybe a conflict arises between the interests of the personal director and their duty against the other company and also their duty to their own company. So the last element that we're going to talk about is pertaining to the role and responsibility of a director. So the business and affairs of these companies, both Woodside and Marathon, are managed under the direction of the board for the benefit of the stakeholders. Moreover, both of companies are deserved to have an excellent score since they are clearly managed to articulate the power, role, and responsibility of a director.
As what you've already mentioned about the structure of the board, so the foundation of management, integrity and ethical dealing. So can you give me the rank from the most to the least important one?
So from 100%, about 40% for foundation of management and 30% for both structure of the board and also the emphasis integrity and ethical dealings. The most important one is foundation of management because it does not give us the roles and responsibilities of the directors, but it also helps us to keep track of performance. And these aspects will also help the company to set the other two aspects. So 30% for structure of the boards because it is very important for the company to be able to choose what type of directors are suitable for each job. And the other 30% for the emphasis integrity and ethical dealings because it is important for the company to reduce the conflict of interest.
In conclusion, after we develop corporate governance models which are structure of the boards, foundation of management, and emphasize integrity and ethical dealings, we found that Woodside actually better disclosed in its corporate governance items. Besides that, Marathon have to improve its structure of the board, which are independence of directors and also separation of CEOs and its chairmen.